Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Department of Mathematics of G. Momin Women's College. In our next lecture, means I think the sixth lecture of SYBSc Mathematics Paper 1. In the first chapter, functions of several variables. Now we will find the main limit of a function of xy as xy is tending to 0, 0 in polar form. So if we change the Cartesian coordinates to polar coordinates r theta using the relations x is equal to r cos theta, y is equal to r sin theta, then what happens? We see that whenever we have in xy coordinate system a point like this, if we have this as origin 0, 0 and a point pxy, then and this r is the distance of the point from origin. This is also called as radius vector. So this is magnitude of the radius vector. Then the relation between r theta and xy. This is x coordinate. This is y coordinate. Is x is equal to r cos theta. Y is equal to r sin theta. Whenever xy means the point pxy, this is approaching to 0, 0 means this point is approaching to origin. We can see from the diagram that irrespective of the theta, r will tend to 0. Okay, so geometrically we can see this from picture, and mathematically x is equal to r cos theta, y is equal to r sin theta suggests that x square plus y square will become r square, and when x comma y is tending to 0, 0, x square plus y square will tend to 0, but x square plus y square is r square. Therefore r square tends to 0 as xy tends to 0, 0. And when r square is tending to 0, r tends to 0. So whenever we are using the polar form, okay, this implies this. So when x comma y tends to 0, 0 in polar form, r will tend to 0 and theta will be treated as constant. Let us see the problems. Evaluate by converting to polar form. In this, it is presumed that the limit exists, then only we can use the polar forms. So see, we have to find this limit using x is equal to r cos theta, y is equal to r sin theta. As xy tends to 0, 0, we have r tending to 0, therefore limit becomes limit r tending to 0 of sine of xy. X is r cos theta and y is r sin theta upon r, because r is the square root of this, because you see that x square plus y square is r square, positive is square root of x square plus y square will be r, so this is r. Okay, but we see that this limit becomes here sine of r square into sine theta cos theta upon r square. When r tends to 0, this term tends to 0, this sine of 0 will tend to 0 and r in the denominator tends to 0. Therefore this is 0 by 0 form. This is indeterminate form of limit, 0 by 0 form. By L'Hopital's rule, we can find this limit by taking the derivative of numerator separately and derivative of denominator separately with respect to r, because r is tending to 0. So taking derivative of this with respect to r, derivative of sine is cos, so it is cos of r square sine theta cos theta into, using chain rule, derivative of r square into sine theta cos theta will be 2r into sine theta cos theta as it is, divided by derivative of r is 1. Okay, so using L'Hopital's rule we got this, but here denominator is not 0, it is constant. We have only numerator, so we can take limit r tending to 0. This is 2 into 0 into all the non-zero terms will become 0. That's why limit L is 0. So if we know that the limit exists, and sometimes the function because it is sine or log or e raised to something, then we can use we can convert the given Cartesian form limit to polar form, and the calculations are quite easier as compared to the limit in Cartesian form. See the second example. If we have limit of x cube plus y cube upon x plus y square, then converting it to polar form, we know this will become, using x is equal to r cos theta, y is equal to r sin theta, this will become x is r cos theta. So this is r cube cos cube theta plus r cube sine cube theta upon r square. Okay, so we have here, from this r cube is common, so that r cube is common divided by r square, so r square is getting cancelled. From this we are getting here remaining value r into cos cube theta plus sine cube theta. But cos cube theta plus sine cube theta is constant term, because only r is tending to 0. When r is tending to 0, because of this whole limit becomes 0. So this limit, which seems to be quite difficult in Cartesian form, becomes very simple in polar form. I can give some problems for practice, third, fourth and fifth problem. I give you for practice, you try it, otherwise we'll see the difficulties. Okay, come to the next, a slight change in the topic, in the problems, that when function is x square y upon x square plus y square, when xy is not 0, and it is given that f at 0 0 is alpha, then question is to find alpha such that f is continuous at 0 0. It means this limit exists and the function is continuous. So the function is continuous there at 0 0, then main limit of this function when xy is tending to 0 0 must be equal to f at 0 0. So we need to find the limit and we equate it to alpha, we'll get the value of alpha. Since the function exists, this suggests that if we can use the polar form, it will be easier. So r is tending to 0 and the limit becomes, this limit becomes x, limit xy tending to 0 0 of x square y upon x square plus y square, as x is r cos theta, this is r square cos square theta, into y is r sin theta, and x square plus y square becomes then r square. So this r square is getting cancelled and we are getting here this as r into cos square theta. When we cancel r square, we are having r into cos square theta into sin theta. This r will be 0 when r is tending to 0. Okay, so this limit is equal to 0, take it as 1. But if f is continuous at 0 0, then limit fxy as xy is tending to 0 0 must be equal to f at 0 0. Okay, but it is given that f at 0 0 is alpha. So when I substitute here this value of alpha and limit from 1 is 0, then we get alpha is equal to 0. Okay, so this way we can use the polar form to find the limits of functions of two variables x and y. Thank you.